We are the Guinea Pig Collective. All will be assimilated. Resistance is futile.
Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome back to another United Underground Presents Collectible Past. So of course what we like to do is we like to talk about the retro stuff that they're doing right today, and of course the old stuff that inspired it. As always, I have my compatriot, my companion, my good buddy. We got Vinnie Art. What's going on, Vinnie?
Hey brother. Doing all right. Just I could do a little bit better would be great, because right now I still have some kind of head cold. I don't know what's going on.
No, it seems to be going around. I keep hearing a lot of people talking about they're sick with this or they're sick with that, and it's really getting to be a bit much. I mean, some of this stuff seems to be just recirculating. Does that make sense? Like it just never ends.
Sure, I'm sure it's like the leftover. You know what happened to me on in January. It's like the immune system's still weak, so yeah, I'm sure that's all it is. But yeah, I'm just glad that the throat isn't on fire anymore. The first 2 days were, I'm like, oh no, am I getting it again?
No, it can't have that again.
Yeah, but luckily it wasn't. Like I said, it's all in the sinus stuff right now.
Hey, Wookie, what's going on? See that? I don't do the normal tweets I normally do, because I was trying to do a cross promotional type tweet, and it didn't seem to work as well as my normal tweets would. I think that's absolutely hilarious.
Shit.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, we had like a pretty interesting discussion on Monday. We were talking about like Mad Max, some of the toys that spawned, and we were talking about Judge Dredd. Before we get into the stuff I want to talk about today, did you catch any of that?
No, I did miss it. I've been meaning to go back and watch it, but I haven't had a chance yet. I wanted to be on that one, but I couldn't make it on Monday.
Hey, Tina. Well, before we get into the stuff I want to talk about, I want to do a quick recap of the figures from Mad Max.
Oh hell yeah!
Because I really love these things. Do you recall these ones?
Do you have them? If you got them to show them, if I see.
Oh
them,
yeah. Well, yeah, I got a short clip that I can play for them.
Oh hell yeah! Let's do it.
All right, here we go. While there were no toys released when the movie came out, in 2002 Toys actually released the Road Warrior collection of figures. These figures are roughly 6.5 inches tall. They're fairly well detailed, do not have a whole lot of posability, but for those Road Warrior fans out there, this was a really cool collection to be able to get. Of course, we got the Gyro Captain right here, the Warrior Woman. I don't recall if she actually had a name in the movie, but that's what it's actually listed on for the figure. Wes's sidekick, the Golden Youth. Of course, they had to have Wes in it as well. One of the main protagonists to Mad Max in the Road Warrior film. You can run, but you can't hide. Of course, they had to have the Humongous, the Lord Humongous, the ruler of the Wasteland, the Ayatollah of Rock and Roller. There were actually a couple different versions of Max. This one right here comes with him all beat up in the Feral Kid. I know I actually have one because all of these are actually part of my brother's collection, but I have one where he actually came with the dog. And I know there was another one released where it was a car, and I think Max came with the dog as well with that one. brother also had one loose, so we could kind of check out the posability. It's got a little bit of kick up, tiny bit of knee bend, a little bit of movement at the arm, twist at the wrist. There was absolutely no head movement. There's no waist movement, I don't believe. No, none of that. Still fairly decent looking, a little bit cartoonish in some aspects, but I think that they captured the characters fairly well from that movie, considering that there was no toys at the time.
Yeah, no, I can't say I've ever seen them in stores. I think I seen them online or something, but that was it. Yeah, that's cool that you got them though.
Yeah, I like I said, I had the one with the dog, but I don't know what crate it got packed away. And I know they had the Interceptor. I can't remember if they had the gyrocopter or not, but I think they had Humongous's car, and God, there was one other. Oh, the police car.
Oh, okay, nice. That's pretty cool, man. I know there's a couple of third-party figures that are doing the 1/6 scale versions of them. One was released, I think, recently.
Really?
Yeah, I know. I got a folder. Sometimes if I see some cool shit, I'll save it. I think I saved one of them. Just kind of going through now, trying to look for it. But yeah, no, dude, Mad Max is just like, and Road Warrior. Those like movies are so damn good. Freaking classics. I even like the newer one they did, but what's his face?
I tried. I couldn't get into it, and I know this is probably the same one you probably heard from other people, that he felt like he was a sidekick in his own movie.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but at the same time, there's something I really enjoyed about that movie, man. Like the action of it, and just I don't know, just I guess seeing it again, just it had the aesthetic that it needed. I know that people, yeah, they've been like, oh, hey, it's a piece of shit, but to each their own. Oh yeah, all right, I got some photos here.
Awesome.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, because there were a couple of companies that gave this a shot. Let me share screen here. So yeah, and yeah, these are all third-party figures.
Oh wow, that looks nice.
Yeah, that one's pretty good.
The Wasteland Gladiator.
Yeah. Right? They got to keep doing that. Yeah, I think this is the one that's out right now, but there's, I believe, 2 other companies that are also working on a Mad Max.
You know what, all the extras that they had in there, you know what I was expecting to see?
Yeah, this is a different one here.
I was expecting to see that freaking dog can, the food.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised they didn't. Yeah, that's weird that they didn't. Oh. Interesting. But yeah, I know. Yeah, each of them come with something different too. Because like, yeah, this one comes with the dog. I think this company is totally different. One of them I know has actual leather. The other ones are like fake leather, but one of them actually has real leather. It might be this one. Not 100% on that. I gotta deep dive. I don't know, this guy
I'm looking at the sheath that he has there for the double barrel shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
When you did that close up of it, it almost looked like that was leather.
It's possible,
because I know how it looks like grain.
Yeah,
almost.
Mm-hmm. And you can see that even the jacket itself looks a lot better than that previous one. Like this one, like they had to put texture all over the image with Photoshop. I think one of these other shots were a little bit different, because I seen someone do a review on this one specifically, but this guy here, yeah, he's not out yet. You can see the face is a better sculpt than the other one. This one looks more like a younger Mel Gibson. But yeah, no, I'm pretty amazed that they're all kind of jumping all over this. Oh, this is
wow.
Yeah, these are pretty sick too. These are hot toys.
Amazing.
Yeah, although they still messed up his face. Because, like, I don't know what's going on here. The mouth and the teeth, something's off. And then that hair. Because I know it's more crazy and it's harder to sculpt something like that. Because, it really looked like someone put a firecracker in the back of his head. And then his hair was everywhere. But, like, to sculpt that and for a figure, I know it's got to be difficult. So they try to make it as...
Yeah, but I mean, like, all the little side things they did, like the pocket protector and all the stuff hanging out of it, too.
Oh, absolutely. The remote control in his hands too for the car. I mean, yeah, they really went above and beyond. And this Marty it's just a brand new head sculpt, because I have the original one. I should do a review on that. I have the original Marty, and his head's a little bit different. So they gave him a new head sculpt, and they gave him Einstein as well. Let me see, maybe I have it here. Yeah, dude, yeah, you're right. All the details and shit. He's not out yet, Doc Brown, but Marty is. Yeah, there's Einstein in the car. So Einstein comes with this Marty. That's what they did now.
No, absolutely, brightest day, and welcome, buddy. Yeah, that face mold.
Yeah.
And hey, Soul Assassin, what's up? Road Warrior, dope. Yeah, doing a little bit of a recap of what we did on Monday.
Yeah.
Nah, he looks like the bald Inquisitor from the Kenobi trailer.
That's pretty funny. Oh, shit. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I saw that trailer today. I'm like, it looked okay, but yeah, you're right. Those other characters look like they screwed them up.
I want no part of it. You know me.
Mm-hmm.
I hate on Disney. As soon as I seen it pop up in my feed, the ad for it, I blocked it. Kenobi show blocked. No, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, good for you, man. Yeah, screw that.
Yeah, the other one we did on Monday, and I want to get your opinion on this one, is we did Judge Dredd. I did a short clip on Judge Dredd and a couple of the figures that we have from that one. So
that's cool.
I'm gonna run that real quick. And we are going to stop and take a look today at Judge Dredd. Now, unfortunately, I cannot find most of my other Judge Dredd comics, the original ones from Quality Comics. I do have this issue number 13 still. IDW also did reprinting of some of the older stories, along with a few. I believe these were also reprints of older stories, if I'm not mistaken, or possibly they were new stories. I forget offhand. I remember picking them up, and I thought they were okay. I just didn't think they were as good as the original ones. I used to have all the ones with Judge Death as well, but unfortunately, like so many other things, they have been lost in the curly shuffle. Eventually, hopefully, I can dig them out. And in 1999, Reaction. Yeah, Reaction, the guys who usually make those tiny figures we're so used to seeing, they actually did 2000 AD Collector's Series Judge Dredd. This one looks amazing. This is another one that I had Judge Death, which I will be showing off in a second, but the two that I'm showing right now is actually part of my brother's collection. He has both of these still with the original packaging. I never did find the Anderson. I remember seeing the Schrodium dog, or who they say is Johnny Alpha, on this one. But this series actually looked amazing. Incredibly articulated and really capturing the essence of those characters from the comic books. And of course, like I said, here is Judge Death. This one looks awesome. Looks just like he did in the comics. The only thing I wish they would have did is I wish they would have did the other 3 Dark Judges. They did pull off the Anderson figure, which looks okay. I think it could have looked better. I never did see it in stores once again, but the Judge Death one was spot on accurate. Him and Dredd looked amazing. I wish I could have found the Dredd before, but by the time I even knew that this series was out, they were pretty much already gone and they were being marked down in KB toy stores, as you can see right there. Overall, though, pretty amazing looking figures. I really need to be on the lookout to see if they're going to do any modern retakes on Judge Dredd, because that would be something to really look out for. And while this is technically not old school, I'm going to talk about the one Judge Dredd movie that I felt did it right. The one that actually felt like Judge Dredd. And that would be this one from Lionsgate. One was released in 2012, of course, starring Karl Urban. This is the Dredd that I was actually waiting to see. Being a longtime fan of the comic books, this one actually felt more like the Judge Dredd character than the one did with Sylvester Stallone.
I am the law. No, you're right.
Yeah, well, he played Stallone as Dredd. Obviously. And what's going on, Keck? Hello, howdy, collecting nerd guys.
Hello. Yeah, no, I love the one with Karl Urban as well. That movie was fantastic, man. And I love that he kept his helmet on the entire time.
Exactly. I mean, I think there was elements to the one with Stallone where they got the outfit a little bit closer to the comic pages,
Mm-hmm.
but the character was off, and that threw it
Yep.
off for me completely.
I agree, man. I agree. Yeah, no, that last one they did was amazing. And Carl Urban says he still wants to make more of them. So I don't know what the hell they're waiting for. That movie was fantastic.
They should be all over top of that. What's going on, Curtis? My buddy Curtis. What up, Curtis? So now I'm going to get into some of the ones that I actually had prepared for this week. Now, I've been actually sitting on this one for probably a good month from when I got it and recorded it, because so many other things came up before that I like kept pushing it off. But I'm going back into Transformers. Wookie, have a drink. Wherever you are, have a drink, because we're doing Transformers again. So go ahead and get ready for it. And Jumper is out today, and Jumper is ready to talk about another Transformer that we just recently picked up. Right, Jumper? Transformer time.
The Transformers, more than meets the eye.
So today, from the 86 Studio series, we have Transformers the movie, Dinobot, Slug, and Daniel Witwicky. Yeah, I know originally his name was Slag, but it wound up being changed because they said slag is an offensive term.
Beverly and baloney!
I really don't see what the big problem is, but it is what it is, and his name is now Slug. So let's go ahead and get him open and see what he looks like.
And now, fellow Autobots, and especially Optimus Prime, it gives me great pleasure to present... Will you get to the point?
So, and right out of the box, we can see Slug looks pretty decent in his robot mode. And of course, he comes with Daniel. Much like the wheelie figure that came with Grimlock, and I will actually do a comparison between the two. He does not have much in the way of articulation. The arms move up and around just a little bit, and the legs move just a tiny bit, and that is pretty much it for him. The one thing I really can't stand about the Daniel figure is they don't have a face on here. Like, they didn't have a window. He's just got an egghead. But Slug himself looks pretty amazing. He's got a turn there at the top of the thigh. Of course, he comes all the way up with a full kick. Goes all the way out with the full Van Damme splits. Of course, he has the knee joint, and it is a double jointed knee. He also has a bit of a rocker at the bottom of the foot. He does have a waist turn. He has full movement at the top, and it's all ratcheted too, except for, of course, this part that comes up. But that is all ratcheted. I love that, because when you put him in those play poses, it's going to stay. He's got a little bit of a turn here at the top of the bicep. He's got an elbow joint. It's a double jointed elbow too, as well. He's got turn at the hand. And the one thing I don't like is the head. They did the same thing in the Megatron one. So they got this piece that his head sits on, and the whole thing moves. Now, his head itself actually does have a little bit of movement here, but you have to hold the base that his head is sitting on to try to get it in position. It sucks. Like, I don't know why they didn't have this piece right here click in somewhere.
Yeah, the articulation was pretty good until you got to the head. What the hell, man? That is so strange that they did that.
They, like I said, they did the same thing with the one for Megatron, for the War for Cybertron Siege line. Exact same thing. The head just floated, and it drove me absolutely insane. And what's going on, Lasso of Truth? Good to see you. And I seen you were enjoying Cliff Jumper.
Yeah. He's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, the one thing that drove me nuts, the flexing on that thing. I love that. I love that thing ratchets. It's not going to wear out prematurely. But yeah, that headpiece and Daniel. Oh, that just drove me nuts.
that was a
egghead.
disappointment. Yeah.
And it made me sick. I was like, they could have did so much more with that. I mean, they didn't even have to go crazy. It was the same thing with the wheelie. They didn't have to go nuts. Put a small hinge at the freaking knee.
Yeah.
That's all they need to do with wheelie.
Exactly. What's so difficult about that? These people, man, it makes no sense. Especially at the price point for some of these figures. It's like,
that one was like $40.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. And yeah, and the name change. Oh man, could they be any more like a bunch of fucking pussies? Sorry.
No, I hear you. I still wanted to just keep calling it Slag the whole time, but I was like, you know what? I'll just call it Slug.
Yeah, man, what the hell? And how is that an offensive term? To who?
Apparently the British. I was talking to my buddy Jens about it, and he says, yeah, it's a bit of a derogatory term, but he says, I don't have a problem with it. And I said, well, apparently some Fruit Loops do.
I guess so. Wow. Oh, is that the crowd that got their panties in a bunch?
Yep.
Wow. So did they prefer the other word, bundle of sticks?
I think they do still, which is kind of ironic. Now that's ironic.
Isn't it? Holy shit. That's funny.
Yeah, a lot in Britain. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And they all wear women's underwear anyway. And they dress in drag. It's insane.
So I have one more clip for that new one, and I did the size comparison with the Grimlock figure and the wheelie figure. And I think they scale very well, so we'll go ahead and we'll drop that one.
Okay.
And of course, we can position Daniel on top of Slug to ride him. And of course, taking a look at him from all angles. His gun actually becomes the end of his tail. I think they did a really nice job with this one. Transformation was a little bit difficult, but it is what it is. I mean, even in his dinosaur mode, he's got a bit of movement, of course. A lot more movement in the back end. And yes, the mouth does open too. And if I take Scourge's Fire Blast out, there is the plug-in port, so you can actually put it in there to give him that effect like he's breathing fire like you've seen in the cartoons. Nice little extra touch that they added.
Excuse me.
And of course, with Grimlock right next to him, you can see that they are pretty much in scale in their Dinobot modes. I think they did a really good job on both of these. Granted, Willie has a little bit more articulation because he has a waist turn, so you can kind of get him into more poses than you can with Daniel. Daniel has nothing in the way of a waist turn, which is kind of a shame. Slug and Daniel with Grimlock and Wheelie. Now, I know from the angles, it almost kind of makes it look like Slug is slightly taller than Grimlock, but he's not. And one thing I will tell you is this Daniel has no articulation, but he stands a lot easier than the Wheelie figure does. The Wheelie figure is extremely hard to stand up, even though he has a waist swivel and he does have a head turn. But take him, get him about as close as we can, side to side.
Look at the size of those things.
See, the Grimlock is just a hair taller than him. I think that they messed up. Grimlock should have been a lot taller than old Slag. Oh, I'm sorry, Slug. Don't want to offend nobody. But other than that, because I know in the cartoon that they had them all standing pretty much at the same height, I think they did an amazing job on this one.
The Transformers, more than meets the eye. The Transformers.
Yeah, man, they look good. I agree with you. I think the robot mode, he should have been a little bit smaller, but in the Dino mode, he looked pretty good. It looked pretty accurate.
No, I think they did an amazing job. Curtis YZ. Slag is like wood. The leftovers after they take the logs. I guess logs and bundles of sticks have a theme with British insults. I thought it was a loose woman. That's what Jens was telling me, Lasso. That's supposed to be. It's like a term for a loose woman.
Oh yeah. Okay. So it's saying slut.
What up, Red?
What up, Red?
And we're all playing the new drinking game, Red. Yeah, every time Tommy mentions Transformers, you're going to have another drink. Wookiee's going to be plastered by the end of this one.
He'll be in the hospital soon. His liver will give out.
He's going to be getting his stomach pumped.
Oh, shit.
No, I was completely impressed with this one, though. And once again, I didn't mind spending the extra money when I got something like that. Because both the Grimlock and the Slag one, the Slug. Yeah, both of them were amazing. I'm really hoping that they do the rest of the damn Dinobots.
Oh, they're gonna have to if they did two of them. Yeah, what the hell? Go for it. Hey, was it me or I don't remember fully. Did they actually form together and make one big robot as well?
They did that in the Power of the Primes line. Yeah,
Okay.
they actually had them. They formed into, what the hell was it called? Volcanicus or something like that?
Yeah, it rings a bell, but I didn't remember if they ever did anything like that in the original series.
Yeah, I know, Curtis. That's what I always remembered it as, and that's what they were going for when they originally created the names for them. But yeah, like anything else in modern day, it somehow just becomes offensive because somebody got their panties up in a bunch.
Yep. Awful. Listen, they need someone to help them remove those bunched up panties.
Yeah, well, there's something that we could do about it. We could throw a few shots around. Everything will work out in the end. Just don't look. Don't pay attention to what I'm doing.
Exactly.
Splenda is your friend.
Did somebody say shots? I'm ready.
150 days in jail, 30 months probation, $2,000 fine. Hey, what's going on, Nana Reaper?
That's it? That's all he got? Wow. For wasting people's fucking time and for being a liar and helping to ignite a race war. That's all he gets.
Well, because it would have been racist to give him anything more than that, right?
Sure. And homophobic and trans this and that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Red covered all those things today. We had transphobes, we had TERFs, we had white supremacists, all of it. If you don't back those books.
Yeah, that's right. So back all those indie projects, please.
So I have two more clips that I wanted to finish out this one with Slag. What else we got here? Nice to be rich and black.
Apparently.
A $200,000 fine, not $2,000. Okay.
Yeah. He still needs to serve more time, if you ask me.
But to finish this one up, I wanted to take it back to the collectible aspect, and I wanted to show off the original 1985 Slag that I have in my collection. I love this damn toy. I loved all the Dinobots. They were amazing. I think the hardest one to actually get in one piece was the swoop one because everybody always broke the wings and they broke the damn dinosaur head, the pterodactyl head, because they were cheap plastic. I don't know why they went so chintzy on that head, but it would always break. And it took me multiple broken lots of figures to be able to get enough pieces to put a damn swoop together.
Holy crap.
Well, I wasn't spending the money, even for a loose one. I wasn't going to spend that kind of money at the time to get one that wasn't broken because they were charging like somewhere around like $200 to $300 to get a decent looking swoop that wasn't broken. So I was like, hell with that. I'll just buy broken lots. I'll strip the parts off that I need and piece it together myself.
Yeah, dude, if it worked. Yeah. Yeah, because that is insane. You dude, yeah, that's crazy. There's one like kind of famous comic shop near where I live, and they have like all old G.I. Joes and Star Wars, and those figures they go anywhere from like I don't know $40 up to about $3,000.
And I've seen some of the ones in the comic shops, and they look like they've been chewed on.
Who's spending that kind of money. And oh yeah, they still have the balls to just jack the price up like that. Unbelievable.
Mm-mm-mm. All right, we're going to take a look at the old school Slag. And it feels so good to say it and don't have to worry about it. Here we go. And we have Jumper. Jumper's on the spinning dial. And Jumper's getting ready for another Transformers video. Right, Jumper? All right, guys, here we go.
The Transformers, more than meets the eye.
And because we did a video on Slag,
Excuse me.
we got the original Slag from 1985. Now, granted, this one still needs a little bit more work. I haven't had a chance to take these things out and finish fixing them the way I normally would, because you can see his jaw's it's a little bit loose. It's an easy fix, and I will get around to it eventually. But in 1985, originally there were 3 Dinobots released. There was Grimlock, there was Slag, and there was Sludge.
Look at the size of those things.
And later on in the year, they wound up releasing Snarl and Swoop as well. Now, his function was a flamethrower. His motto, I have no need for friends, even less for enemies. Enjoys melting enemies into pools of liquid metal. Like his fellow Dinobots, resents authority, disruptive, often brawls with comrades, shoots 3,000 degrees Celsius flame up to 80 feet from mouth, enormous strength, can shatter a brick building with his head, uses electron blaster in Dinobot mode, rash, not too bright, nasty, mean-spirited. Often, the other Autobots won't help him when he's in trouble. Ah, love that damn toy.
Dude,
I
that
gotta work
original-
on that damn
that-
mouth though.
Yeah, that original looks freaking great, man. I forgot how good he looked. Yeah, it's been years since I've seen it, man. Yeah, that is fantastic.
I was so happy when I wound up getting a nice big parts lot and I seen that all that gold chrome was still intact on that thing.
Oh hell yeah, dude, that's impressive. Yeah. Pretty much all you gotta do is fix that jaw. It looks like, but man, what a beautiful thing. And dude, I started laughing as soon as I saw Jumper. I'm like, I thought about it the other week. I was like, I wonder if he's ever gonna put any of his pigs on there.
I started doing it as soon as I started
That's
using
awesome.
the wheel. That's why I said the first one I did a while ago because I didn't even have the wheel out yet.
Mhm.
So I had the wheel out and I was like, I'm going to put Jumper on it and see how he does. And then I started putting almost all the other pigs on it. I think the only one that hasn't hit the wheel yet is Helmet. All the other pigs have been on the wheel this week.
Nice. That's fantastic, man. That is really great. Shellback, that's great. If you didn't vote for Biden, you ain't Slag.
You ain't Slag. What's up, Shellback? Hello to the lovely Sherry. I hope you are doing well. And I see Marby Dog is also in the house. What's up, Marby Dog?
Yeah.
Breakage and substandard material. My problems with McFarlane. $20 is cheap, but it's too expensive for junk.
I agree 200%. I know their newer shit's a little bit better. That their old stuff, oh my god, there were problems all the time. QC problems out the ass, cheap material. I had figures that like the arms, like the regular joints that they had. If you go to move it upward, like it would be stuck and just snap off as soon as you try to move it. Yeah, McFarlane had used some really, really bad materials. But again, the newer ones I've been reviewing, they're a lot better than what they used to be in quality. But the sculpts and paint applications aren't as great as they used to be. So that's why a lot of times he was just trying to make statue type figures, statuesque type ones, barely any joints and movements, and people wanted more. They loved the details, but they wanted more. And yeah, apparently outsourcing to China, they solved that problem with the joints since they ripped off of a lot of other toy companies. But
And what the hell were they thinking?
I don't know. Oh, I did get a new Batman, so I'm returning the other one. I swapped out the figures basically. The one that had the incorrect cowl and the abs that were upside down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll be getting my money back soon on that.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, and I did find another one of those figures from the movie. I found the unmasked Catwoman, so I'll review her maybe for next week. But
I know you've been getting a whole bunch of reviews up lately, man. That's freaking awesome.
yeah, I wanted to get more this week. This week I have one, and it wasn't so much a review. It was more of an update and an upgrade on some older pieces, which I'll pull it up in a minute if you want. But yeah, I essentially the very first figure that I reviewed was the Dr. Octopus, and I have an update on him. So I'm just waiting for this stupid commercial to stop.
Well, while you're getting that up, I actually have one more clip to show for Slag.
Yeah, of course.
So while that's loading for you, I'll just go ahead and play this last one. And of course, we got Slag in his Dinobot mode. I unfortunately can't seem to find his sword, his blaster. And I'm not sure. I think he had a missile launching weapon as well. Most of them did. I can't seem to find that. I did do some work on this one because when I originally got this one, it was actually in pieces. So I found multiple other parts for this one and put them together the best that I could out of all the best parts that I could find for them. All original parts, of course.
We have to stop these Dinobots before they create a catastrophe.
He still needs a little bit more work, like I said, but other than that, this one is in fairly decent shape. Most of the chrome is still on there, and you know what? When you're finding these old Dinobots, you can't hope for any more than that. Because it's a pain in the ass to take all those parts off and send them to somebody and have them re-electrochromed back on. It can be done, but it's just a pain in the ass to get all the parts disassembled to send it off like that. But anyway, guys, I hope this one actually took you down memory lane with the old Dinobot Slag. And I hope that you liked the new one as well, because I think they did it very well. Shows a lot of respect and a lot of nods to the G1 while taking it a step further and making him look exactly like he did in the cartoon.
The Transformers, more than meets the eye. The Transformers.
Yeah, that was beautiful, man. That thing looked great. And yeah, congrats on getting that thing together.
Oh,
Shit.
man. You know what? He was one of the, Dinobots actually were the least amount of headache for me to actually reassemble. The one that drives me nuts is Shockwave. Shockwave is the worst because he's got multiple springs in his shoulders and in his legs. And the way he comes apart is almost like a clamshell. The whole chest and crotch part comes across as one big clamshell, and you got to snap all these springs together at the same time with the clamshell in place and get them just right, or something winds up popping out of place. And I must have went over that thing about 6 or 7 times. I thought I'd gotten right the last time. Everything felt good until I popped it all the way down, put the screws in, and the 2 flat springs for the legs popped out of the place, and now his legs are just wobbling. So I got to take them back apart again.
Oh,
on the 7th time. Like,
yeah,
no.
That's crazy, man. Man, why did they do shit like that?
I can't figure out how they did it. Like, I don't know if they used some kind of tape or something to hold stuff around from the outside. I couldn't figure out a way to do it where it wasn't going to get in the way of the clamshell coming down.
Well, they're made in China, so it's those sweatshops. Those kids have really small hands. They got a couple of them working on a figure at a time. I'm kidding.
Those original ones were all they were all made in Japan originally. They're the ones that did all the engineering on those things. So
they did the engineering, but didn't they mass market in China?
Not originally, no.
Oh, okay. Oh.
That actually wasn't until I want to say that was sometime in Generation 2.
Oh,
They started sending them off to like other places like Macau and everything like that.
Oh wow, dude. Yeah, I don't know. That's amazing. Yeah. That's kind of genius too. Especially back then, they weren't computers figuring that out. They were people. So
Yeah, and the way they were doing it is they were using wooden blocks and stuff like that. They were creating these things out of wood and figuring out, well, how can we move these parts and put them together that they could turn into something. I mean, obviously they focused on the alternate form first and the robot secondary, but as they got further into the line, into the Transformers line itself, when it was rebranded, they started looking at, okay, well, how can we make it look like the alternate form perfectly but still make it look like a decent robot? And they started coming up with some really interesting ways to transform those things.
yeah, man. My hat goes off to them because some of those figures are just jaw dropping. Even now, like you said, you look back at them, it's like, wow, they went above and beyond then, you know. So yeah, seeing what they're doing now and they're paying respect to those original designs is awesome. But yeah, figures.
I will say it one more time though. Thank you, Hasbro, for firing IDW.
Yes. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Best thing they could have done right there. Because we don't need no weird trans robots.
Oh God. I was looking through my comics and I picked it up just because the guy at the comic book shop told me to pick it up, and I picked up that Transformers Ponies crossover. It was the worst piece of shit that I think I've ever seen in my life. God, that thing was horrendous.
Yeah, no, thank you. So, yeah. So, all right, this figure here, I kind of I did a twofer. So, I was watching another toy guy, Justin's collection. I've been watching that guy since he had like 20,000 subscribers, and he's like at 500,000 now. So bless him. But he basically had an upgrade on the Doc Ock, and he just showed it in passing in his collection. I'm like, that'd be perfect if I did that. So basically, all he needed was a turtleneck, and I had aviators for him anyway from a different figure. So I pretty much have the look now from this newest movie. And then I found like for $20 on eBay on Andrew Garfield head sculpt. So that's what this review is. And I upgraded my old figure there, and I got a new head sculpt for Spidey, which is pretty awesome. So the thing about these two, since this was a third party, Toys Era was the company that made this. They try to get more accurate to the second film, the Sam Raimi film. So obviously, like, he had no undershirt. It was just like these two coats, his overcoat, and then well, again, they didn't have to show sleeves, so they chopped it, which again, save money, go for it. But the octopus arms are fantastic on this figure, and again, this was the very first one that I reviewed for the channel. Yeah, I had this guy for a while now. And doing the upgrade was much needed because obviously, as you can see, his body is way too ripped and cut for what Alfred Molina looked like in that film. You know,
kind of reminds me of the old WWE figures,
right? And if you could see here too, like that head down to the waist, it's a softer plastic, so it's more pliable, but it started to get kind of sticky. So I think it was about to start degrading pretty badly. So getting I got this super cheap, like $7, I think it was, a turtleneck, 1/6 scale, and it fixes that. Plus, it covers up most of that body as well. And if I wanted to, I could even pad out like the stomach. If I could just stick something under there. But I don't even have to, because the way it bunches up anyway, and you can just kind of fold it over. It just makes his waist look thicker. And as soon as you put the coat on, it's perfect. So. There we go. Bam. I got an upgraded look from the newest movie. And yeah, I think this is a fantastic figure. And this head likeness is way better than what Hot Toys did. They completely screwed up the Alfred Molina likeness on the new figure that's going to be released like next year. Plus, I am not waiting another year to essentially get like the same figure and pay like almost 3 times as much as what this was. You know what I mean? It's like, no, I got him. He looks great. So for $7, now he's perfect. You know what I mean? So
no, it looks great. That does look a lot better too, like that too. Yeah,
Hell
absolutely.
yeah, dude. And again, like that company, these third parties, they do great work. And the coat, like the texture and everything, is identical to what the film is anyway. So yeah, and it's all wired. You know, both coats have wires in them, so you could bend it whichever way you want. And there's little ball joints in every single one of these arms. So throughout the entire arms on all of them, you could twist them in any direction you want. You could move it any way you want. So yeah, and I just kind of threw him on a loose base that I had, because he does come with one that has like the big metal bendy like flight stand with like a crotch grabber thing. So he has extra support. I mean, like, look at that. That's freaking beautiful. And then yeah, and this piece. So again, for $20, but now I have an unmasked Spider-Man basically. This is the PlayStation 4 version of the Spider-Man I have. That is an official Hot Toys, which I still need to do a review for the channel. I haven't yet, because he comes with a bunch of shit. I just haven't had time, so I've been doing smaller reviews. But yeah, his head fit perfectly on there. I modified it a little bit, so there's a little bit more space, so the hair wouldn't scratch up the suit or anything like when I turn the head. But other than that, yeah, you could just pop the head right on, as long as you get the dumbbell joint in there. You remove it properly, and so it could fit with this head. And yeah, I think it works great too, because Andrew Garfield, he's a taller, skinnier guy with like wide shoulders. So that's kind of the design that they did with that PlayStation 4 look anyway. And yeah, so now I have essentially all three Spider-Men in my collection now. So I'll jump a little bit so you can see them all together. Where was it? I think it was after this one. Yeah. So for those who were kind of curious, yeah. So just like in the new movie, spoiler alert. Yeah, the other
Is
two,
it really a spoiler now?
not at all. But yeah, dude, look how great they all look together. You know, and that Toby one, they're two different Spider-Man figures that I did to get that look. So Thunder Toys was the third party for the body. He comes, you know, obviously with the other head, but this head came with the wrestling suit one that I got from SL Customs, and both figures are amazing. I really love them both. Those companies did a stellar job. The wrestling suit version of Peter Parker was under $100 for a 1/6 scale figure. That's amazing. And yeah, and the other one I think was around, with shipping and everything, he was about $200. So those are pretty excellent prices, considering, you know, the standard now for Hot Toys is around, you know, over 300 plus shipping. You know, and if it's a figure that comes with a lot of accessories, those things are going for like $350 to $400. Yeah, like, no thanks. I'll stick with the third parties.
I'll tell you, the one thing that I'm really worried about, the way everything is going right now, especially with the the oil and everything. The way everything's going with that right now is looking at what are these figures going to cost if this shit continues next year.
I agree, man. Because the prices keep going up on these things. I'm not going to be able to get them. You know, this is money that I put aside from, like, again, I'm not buying comics anymore. You know, just a couple of, you know, from my friends, and if I see a really cool campaign online. But other than that, like, I'm not dropping money in these stores for Marvel shit or DC shit. I don't care about that stuff. So yeah, I've been putting that money aside, and I'm actually, you know, I'm saving up and getting figures I actually like. You know, and they're great for the channel and everything. But yeah, like you said, if prices are shooting up too much, and they're crashing our economy, allegedly, is what it looks like. Yeah, no, fuck that.
Yeah, it's going to be impossible to get these things. And what's going on? Jason Lee Tucker Hill, my guinea
What's
pig
up?
peeps, and
Hello.
the memes of destruction. What up, memes? Hey guys, what's going on?
Yeah, man, we had great
Chilling,
people.
looking at freaking awesome toys, man. An
Hell
awesome upgrade that Vinnie got for a fraction of the price compared to what it would have been to have to buy a whole new figure.
Exactly.
You know, it always amazed me, some of those companies that were doing that, though, Vinny. Like, I remember even the old G1 Transformers. Wookie, have another drink. Even those, like, for the original, like, Ratchet and Ironhide, they came with companies that did, like, you know, a heads, like you were seeing in the cartoon, a head that, like, sat over top of that seat So he had a head over top of what should have been the chest, and they actually created like new arms for the figures. And I think they even had like legs that you could like snap over top of the original body. Like these amazing upgrades that these third-party companies are doing.
Oh, dude, yeah, man. It is amazing. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, all over eBay. They have that. Yeah, you could fill in like the gaps in all the Transformers figures. Have another drink. Yeah, you can definitely do that. And yeah, I was tempted. There's a couple of them that they have pretty good upgrades on, because I know they had for the Siege version of Ultra Magnus, where they actually gave him enough where he gets extra height as well, and then you could fill in all the gaps on him, and you can still do transformation just fine. It doesn't affect any of it. It just fills in everything and fix, whatever issues are kind of a little bit off. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But dude, and like I said, look at this. I mean, this is a third party figure. Doesn't he, just like looking at this shot, doesn't that look like an official Hot Toys?
No, it definitely looks like it should have been an official figure. It should have been. It looks like something that the actor should have been getting some kind of money for.
Yeah, you would think. The only problem with this one, and that's why I got the glasses, that right eye looks a little too small, and it's a little bit too close to the bridge of his nose. That's the only thing that's off on this figure. Because he came with like the goggles with a piece of like a spandex thing, so you could put that over his head, which again he had in the movie, but not in those scenes. In those scenes, he either had regular glasses on or he didn't have anything on his face at all. So I'm like, these aviators are perfect, because these are actually they're metal with like that plastic on top for the lenses, so you could bend them a little bit just to fit around the head perfectly. And yeah, like I said, man, that's the way to go. Yeah, I'll try. I'll pull up the Hot Toys one. You're gonna laugh at how bad that face is on it. Just give me a second.
Hey, Godzillionaire, what's going on? Hey, Tommy, how do you feel about repro labels on vintage G1 Transformers? They either don't have stickers or the stickers were trashed. Repro labels, they're called toy hacks now. They do some amazing work for those reproduction labels. Amazing. I mean, I really don't have a problem with. The problem is when you get into the hardcore collectors, they get a little bit funny if they aren't the original stickers. I personally don't have a problem with it, especially if it's your own collection. You want to make it look like it did when it was new. I think it's absolutely fine.
I agree, man. Like, look how bad this likeness is compared to the one I just showed you. Like,
he looks like he's one of the Beatles.
Yeah, dude, that's it. That's it. You're right. This looks like a fat John Lennon. Like, what the hell do these people do? He looks like Goofy too. Like, I don't know what the hell they did. Yeah, like I'm sure the body's a lot better, and like the way that the arms, like that waist section is probably a little more accurate. But other than that, I mean, that's okay. I don't need this fucking thing. And look, he looks like a goof. I don't know what they did. And I don't know how these arms are either. These things look like if they just have like one metal wire through them and they put like the plastic around, that shit will break super easy.
Well, that's what it looks like, is it looks twisted.
Yeah, almost like those old Gumby figures, right?
Yeah.
Which again, you're paying this guy is he costs, what was it? $360. Then you got to add on at least $40 shipping. So this guy's $400. That's insane.
That sculpt looks like when you order Alfred Molina off Wish.
That was perfect.
Jason Lee, yeah, YouTube added again, taking people's subs away. Yeah, they just got me again too. Rotten bastards.
They are rotten bastards. Like, look at these two heads next to one another. You tell me which one looks like Alfred Molina, which one looks like a fat John Lennon. And why is his undershirt, why is the turtleneck gray? It was black in the movie.
Spider-Man, I think I'm going to have to sing your song, Spider-Man.
And even those glasses look like shit. It was this big part on the top. Like, dude, it's so off. No, thank you. Yeah, no, I'm good with the one I got. Sure, like I said, the body's probably...
God, it looks even worse with the glasses off.
Oh, yeah, it does. I wasn't joking. I told you, like, how did they drop the ball like that? Look at this. Who's this supposed to be? Let's get that side by side again. Oh, yeah. That's like night and day. Sure, the paint's better on this thing, but again, who's it supposed to be? Because that ain't Alfred Molina.
Curtis Wise said, I'd pay $6 for that if I was drunk and thought I could find or thought I could make some money off it, but still decide against that. It's so bad.
It is. Garbage, man. Garbage. But yeah, like I said, I'm happy with the one I got. And I just fixed him so he looks freaking perfect to the movie now. So yeah, that's the way to go. So anybody, if you got this one, and I think this guy only costs, I think, around like, with shipping and everything, maybe like $230, but that's with shipping. The other guy's freaking $400, and it looks like I don't know who.
Frankie Knows, what's up, Frankie Knows? That's Freddie Felina, his cousin. Memes. Thoughts on resurrecting Dino Riders?
Ooh.
I haven't heard that they were. I barely remember the show, but I know a lot of other people were talking about it before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I think once again, it's like the whole thing with the Silverhawks. The guy who says he's resurrecting that brand says he loves that brand and he wants to do it justice. If they're going to resurrect it, just do it justice. That's all I'm saying.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, if you're going to do it, go for it, man. The official one looks like a lesbian ant. Oh shit, that's accurate.
The lesbian ant you didn't want to know existed.
Yeah, pretty much. Holy crap. But yeah, so there you have it. That was my my figure of the week. And yeah. So yeah, next week, like I said, I got a couple figures. I got a shit ton of them actually that I haven't touched. They've been sitting there. I even found older figures. I'm like, yeah, I can review this one. And I don't know which one to go with yet, but I'll figure it out.
I filmed a whole bunch of stuff in, and I was doing a few more today, like before the show, because I was already prepared for today's show yesterday.
Right.
Shockingly, again. But I was filming a bunch of stuff. And my brother's like, oh, well, I got those 2 G.I. Joe figures that you picked up for me. Because he wanted the movie versions of Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow.
Yeah.
I picked them up for him. I said, if you want them, I'll get them for you. Whatever. So I got them for him. And he's like, oh, you can always review these. And I was like, Eric, I've got about 15 figures just laying around like between the living room and the bedroom that I still have to film. And that's not even including all the crates of Transformers. Have a drink, Wookie. That I still got in the back. I probably got about, I figured it was 35 at first. And I started looking. It's more like close to 45, maybe 50 Transformer figures that I have yet to review. But I did do a couple other reviews, and now I don't know when I'm going to put it up on Collectable Past, but I have another one of the TMNT versus Cobra Kai figures.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Don't get me wrong. They look good, but the QC problems that I'm going to talk about with Michelangelo, I almost had a fit to the point where my brother's telling me, he's like, are you all right? Are you okay? You got to calm down. I was like, dude, don't even get me started.
Wow.
And then right after that, I did Johnny Lawrence, the one that they did for the Karate Kid, like was that like a 7-inch tall figure or 8-inch tall figure?
The skeleton outfit?
Yes.
Yep.
QC problems with that one too from NECA. And I was already inflamed about the TMNT versus Cobra Kai, and then I went into that one, and there were some QC problems with that one, and I further started outraging.
Yeah, I believe it because I know NECA. They've definitely had problems in the past. They've gotten a little bit better more recently, but yes, they've had major issues. I literally remember when Toys R Us was closing down.
Yeah,
and they were doing all the sales. I found a Deadpool figure for pretty cheap that was 18 inches tall. And it was one of my friends actually sculpted. I'm like, oh, I'll definitely get that, right? I bought them, and right when we were in the parking lot, I went, I want to open this up. Something looks weird. I opened him up. His leg was already broken, and he was still strapped in and everything.
Wow.
I just turned around, brought it back in the store, and went, no, I want my money back. This is a broken figure. You know, and again, it's something like, you know, you have to do it right away because like, look, I said, like, look at the receipt. Literally, I bought this thing 2 minutes ago. So give me my money back.
Well, I bought one of the this was during the, I want to say it was during the Prime, the Power of the Primes run. I picked up the Dreadwing and Jesus, I forget because they changed their names with the Power of the Primes. Right. But they formed, they were the two jet guys that transformed the robots and then they formed together to make a super jet.
Okay.
That was called Dreadwing. Mm-hmm. So it was Blackwing and Dreadwind. So I picked up one of them and I didn't even think about opening it right away. I just kind of put it to the side and I was like, oh, I'll wait till I get to the other one and then I'd take a good look at them. So it was months later, so I couldn't take it back to the store. When I found out when I started looking at it, is there was actually pieces of the figure, like his wings and everything, was supposed to snap on that were just completely missing out of the package. Now, so I couldn't take it back to the store because they had stopped selling them by then because I bought it near the end of the run. But I called Hasbro directly and talked to them, and they said, "Oh yeah, just give us the information." I sent a screenshot. As I sent them screenshots on it, they sent me out a brand new toy directly from Hasbro. So So if you run into that, like maybe if you can contact the actual toy company, they might be able to do something about it.
Yeah, well, no, Necker and Dix. I know because I knew the people who used to work there. They used to work at McFarlane. Yeah, no, and I know one specifically, like guy Randy. He's had words with fans, and he's literally just blocked fans. I'm like, are you kidding me? These are people who are buying your product. If they have issues, you should address those issues, not ignore them.
Well, that was one of the reasons I was so happy with Hasbro when they did that. I mean, there was a few problems with some of the stuff they had put out over there when, Darkwing and Dreadwind. Yep. And they formed together to form Dreadwing. But yeah, that they were willing to just take a phone call, have me send them pictures, and then deal with the problem right then and then. I couldn't have been any happier, especially with dealing with some of these other companies. And what's going on? Superfan Adam Shawhan. Good to see you, buddy. I hope the Wiener dogs are doing well.
Yeah, man. Wiener Dog Clan all the way. I guess they would say that we would takes out.
But I started filming a bunch of other stuff, and I was actually fairly pleased with the job McFarlane did on the Warhammer figures that I picked up, the Warhammer 40,000 figures.
Oh, that's good to hear. Nice.
They looked great. I was actually shocked at how good of a job that they did on those ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, they're getting better with like the quality of the plastic that they're using, and the joints are a little bit better. But yeah, again, they still have issues here and there, but I'm glad that those actually turned out good for you.
Yeah, I was shocked at how well they turned out. I mean, the only problem I would say I did have was the hand on the one figure. Mm-hmm. She doesn't seem to hold the chain sword very well. The gun, no problem. The gun fits right in the hand, but the chain sword doesn't seem to stay in the hand very well.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I don't know, man. Well, it's like, again, like with those Batman figures, they gave Batman one looks like a judo chop hand that has a hole in it, and you just put the you peg in his grapnel gun. Now I'm like, how come you didn't give him an alternate hand that he could actually have either a closed fist or another gripping one to put a weapon in, or or hold on to a freaking handlebar on your motorcycle? Like, I don't understand that. And they know that they messed that up too, because I know on the official Bat motorcycle, the Bat cycle. Because I have the drifter bike, which I prefer that one because it looks more like a real bike, and I could use it on any figure. But the one that's actually the Bat cycle, he comes with an alternate hand you could swap out. How come the regular Batman figure didn't have that? You know what I mean?
Doesn't make any sense. Well, you know what? I mean, even if they didn't want to give an extra hand and they didn't want to make one like fully open, there's ways around that too. And I seen. They did it in the Transformers line one year. They gave a figure, and they didn't increase the slot in the hand or whatever, but they had a Megatron. It was a Starscream figure, now that I'm remembering it. So what they did is they gave a Megatron gun to go with the Starscream. So what they did is they made the Megatron gun split apart in the middle of the handle, and it had a pin. The pin went through the hand, and you could attach the back end of the freaking gun underneath it. It was their workaround instead of opening up the hand or, doing anything like that. It was just a workaround. They could have easily did something like that with the Batman one.
Oh, I agree. But again, like I said, he's outsourcing to China now, so things are going to be different. Some stuff are hit and miss. They might have a couple of guys who actually sculpted it properly, like on the computer, because I know everyone's using ZBrush now to do the sculpting in these companies. And then they send it over to China, and they put all the extra cuts and all the stupid robot joints and whatnot. But that's why, like I said, we talked about the Swamp Thing figure. Like there was an actual really good sculptor whoever did it knocked it out of the park. And then they brought it to China and they cut it up to put the joints in it. But I don't know. They need to think a little bit more about the actual figures and all that stuff. Since he is the number one, he sold the most in North America. He outsold Hasbro, Mattel, all of them. He's the number one seller of products in North America. So that's huge. That means he is making just millions and millions of dollars right now. Step it up. Give people better quality figures. Give them extra accessories. Because now you know that you have the collector market. This isn't just for kids. You have the bigger collector market. Make sure you give us the quality we deserve on these fucking things.
Well, I mean, once you start doing it well enough and you start knocking out of the park, the climb to the top is easy, but that fall is extremely hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So we'll see. Because I know he's been doing a lot of other figures that just look like shit. They have like the Todd McFarlane version of Wonder Woman and Batman. They look terrible. They look like I don't know, like circus freaks or something. Like just an explosion of bad colors and design. I'm like, what the hell, man?
Well, it was kind of like those classic Batman ones that we did, like, what was that, a few weeks back?
Mm-hmm.
The likenesses on them for the faces and stuff like that look great. But then you get into the rest of the body, like certain things just looked off. Mm-hmm. Like the misplacement of that freaking logo on Batman's chest just drove me absolutely insane.
Yeah, all right. So they knew right there that these figures are going to mostly stay in packaging, right? Because the way that they did it, the articulation's pretty bad compared to other figures. They made them specifically to be in those colorful packaging. That's why the packaging was smaller as well. They did them on the blister card. They didn't do them in the big fucking box, like all of his DC shit, right? So that means people are going to be collecting them and pretty much keeping them on a wall, a set all together in your big Batman collection, right? So to have things that are off, like the bat symbol on the chest, or if an eye is painted wrong, you got to make sure those things are damn near perfect. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Like, like I was talking about the articulation, how bad they were on there. But like you're saying, if most people are just going to keep them in the package, you could forgive that because you're never going to take it out, so it don't matter. But but that paint application, like for that bat symbol, no.
Yep.
No.
Yeah,
inexcusable.
Yeah, exactly. Get in there and fix it because it's a joke. I know I had a few fights with them when I was working there about QC issues. I'm like, this is just ridiculous. I'm like, like really simple mistakes. And like I said, we had a whole box of them that came in. I went through all of them and they all have the same issues. For collectors, they're gonna flip out. And I told you, one company, he pissed them off and he tried to go to their competitors for a cheaper price. But he didn't know the guy who owned the one company, he bought the other one as a shell company. And when he found out that McFarlane tried to go over there for a cheaper price, he goes, "Oh yeah, we'll screw you guys." And they assembled the figures on incorrectly. So it was the way that the way that they were painted and then how they were supposed to be glued together. Well, they did it the opposite way. So when you got the figure, they look great in package. As soon as you go to turn the head, the entire figure would explode in your hands.
Well, here's another thing I have noticed with McFarlane. Now, it seems like the stuff that's at the lower price point is the shit that they put less attention to detail on sometimes.
Yep.
Like some of it might be accurate. Like, once again, going back to this classic Batman, the face sculpts were amazing. But it started losing it in other parts of the figure. Like they only half paid attention to detail. But then when you get into the larger figures that are around $40, like that Swamp Thing, like they damn near went all out for it.
Yep, I agree. which is
If
weird
you're
too.
going, yeah, but if you're going to do it all the way across. Don't just like, oh, well, these are a little cheaper, so we're not putting as much work into it because it just looks bad.
Well, hold on, because it's not just that those are cheaper. I'd argue they're more expensive because you have to pay the families for the likenesses. So it's not just that they got the rights to do, the '66 Batman. That's Adam West. That's Burt Ward. That's you name the fucking character.
Romero,
Yeah, you
Gershon.
you need to figure it out. And again, it could be maybe a DC contract as well, but same difference. They're for collectors. So you better make sure the paint's perfect. Make sure everything's perfect on those things, and stop doing shortcuts. You cheap miser.
I did have some good news today, though.
What's that?
So the problem with that Rodimus Prime that I got from USPS being broken, it has been fully resolved, and I actually got the check in my hand today.
Oh, perfect.
So now I can figure out how I'm going to repair this thing. I don't know if I can get like a new wing or what I can do to actually fix it, but at least I have the money now.
Yeah, man. No, that's a good thing.
Yeah, thumb to the eye for Pelosi. Well, I got money back out of your husband.
Yeah. You old drunk. Not you, Wookie. We're talking about Nancy Pelosi. And Godzillionaire. Yeah, the SH figures, those things are amazing. I don't have any of the monster ones, the monster arts ones, but I do have Street Fighter. I have some of the I got DC figures that they did as well that look pretty damn amazing. I've been meaning to review those. I just have not had a chance because if I do one Street Fighter, I might just plow through all the ones I have. So I'll try to do it like in succession, so it doesn't seem too kind of weird or jumbled. You know what I mean? Like I try to keep things in certain groupings, so it looks better on the site too. And if people are looking for specific figures, they're like, okay, that Street Fighter one looks great of Cammy. Did he do Sakura? Did he do Vega? So I'll just kind of do them one after another, I think. But yeah, they're beautiful. The articulation is some of the best I've ever seen in any figures.
Amazing stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh, I have a Hulk as well. Who am I talking about? Yeah, he popped up in I think one of my other reviews. Who did I do a comparison with? Might have been the Surtur figure. I don't know, but that Hulk figure is freaking beautiful. I didn't get any of the Marvel Legends ones because SH Figure Arts, they hit a home run with theirs. One is all you need.
I'm trying to see if I can get this guy. And I'm going to see if I can bring my camera up. So you're talking about the Hulk. I found something pretty interesting.
What's that?
Let me see if I can set this guy up somewhere. Please don't hit no keys. I hit keys on the keyboard. Oh, Jesus. I have nowhere to set this up, unfortunately, because I have very little room over here where my computer is. But I have an old Hulk from, what is he from? 1979.
Oh, wow.
So let me see if I can get this camera going. Come on, work with me.
Okay. Yeah, it's working. Oh, damn. His leg fall off?
Yeah. Unfortunately, there is a pin. His legs are over here on the floor. So,
dude,
but there's little plastic pins. There's little plastic pins that hold it in. And originally, I had the plastic pin with it, but when my dad threw these things in a box, apparently he got rid of the plastic pin. He also got rid of. He came with a white shirt, a white ripped up shirt. But I've had this thing since I was a kid, from 1979. The only other thing he needs is rubber bands. Believe it or not, it's all held together with rubber bands. There's a rubber band that runs from this shoulder down to this leg and then cross the other way, and that's it.
Wow, that is weird how they did that. Jeez. No, he looks good though, especially for 1979.
I know. I was shocked that he was still in one piece.
Jeez, right? That's crazy, man.
Yeah, if I had somewhere else to set stuff up, I'd probably be able to use the camera more often. Didn't freeze up at all, did it?
No, it'll look good.
I'm shocked.
Godzilla. Yeah, he said he's not going to be getting the I guess the Dragon Ball Z ones because you'd have to get all 10 figures and he has no room for them. Well, that's what I mean, right? They're very addictive. Like once you do find, a line that you like, that's why people are very selective on the properties and shit that they want to get or want to start collecting. Because it gets out of hand. Like for me, I just love the original Street Fighter figures, and I think SH Figure Arts, they nailed it. So so I'm trying to just get if they release a classic one from like the original like 2 games or 3 games, I'll pretty much get those. Like the really kind of secondary characters from the newer games, I don't give a shit about. And I'll just skip over those.
Yeah, Hulk lost his leg in Nam. It felt like it. It was the jungles of my dad's house.
Right? Or shit, man. It could have been the guinea pigs when they nibble those toes. Well, they work their way up his leg.
I have another older one that I'm actually going to be doing a review for, probably maybe for Monday's show. I'm not sure, but there was an older figure called Mighty Max, and it kind of looked like a cross between a robot and like the Micromen that Takara was doing. Yeah, because it's got like the silver head that looks like a man's head, but then it's got this weird robotic body with these little plastic nuts that actually hold all the joints together.
Okay.
And he came with like a power sled and everything. I found that over the house. I didn't find all his attachments. Like he had like a sword, a shield, or a gun, a sword and a shield, and he had a helmet. Like it almost looked like a motorcycle helmet. It was so weird.
Oh wow.
But I have the motorized sled. I think it might be missing a couple wheels though, because it was my dad. But for the most part, the figure is intact. So. And dude, it's from 75, so it's still got the chrome on the head.
Yeah, that's amazing. Especially like you said, from 1975. Holy crap. That's a score right there.
Yeah, I know. Usually when I tell people Mighty Max, they're like thinking some other franchise that came out much later on, like little mini figures or something.
Okay.
But like this.
This is the big one?
Yeah. This thing is like, God, this thing's got to be at least like 12 inches tall, if not taller.
Oh, wow. Dude, that's great. Well, that Hulk was pretty big too that you showed.
Yeah. He's got to be at least like a 10.5, 11-inch figure at least.
Yeah. Dude, I looked at it, man. That's great though. Yeah, how are you going to get the rubber bands in there? You got to take them apart or?
No, it actually looks like that. If you could slip it because it's got hooks. So there's a hook at the arm and there's a hook at the leg. So it looks like if you could slip it on one end, you could snake it through to the other side, maybe use tweezers or something to pull the rubber band and stretch it way out, and then hook the leg up and then just let it snap into place.
Oh, okay. Wow. So, that's nuts. Yeah, between that, those, the G.I. Joe with the crotch areas and the original Masters of the Universe figures, like, why would they use these rubber bands and,
Oh, because they were cheap.
Right, but if you designed the figure better, you could just like what they do with a lot of these now, they're just kind of like hollowed out and like a ball joint, a ball and socket, and boom, perfect.
Well, I think early on because they really didn't have the idea how to do a proper ball and socket, which is kind of bullshit because Takara did it. But I think because of these companies couldn't figure out a way to reproduce it, this was the next easiest way to do it. You can get a good range of movement with a rubber band sitting there as your joint holder. So I'm assuming that's why they did it.
Possibly, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, that's weird. Or maybe they wanted them to break so people would go to the store and keep buying
them. Maybe. Well, look at the original G.I. Joes. The original G.I. Joes didn't have much in the way of articulation. I mean, they had a little bit of movement, those big 12-inch figures.
Yeah, with the clothes.
And it wasn't until after they sent G.I. Joe over to Japan for Takara, and they remolded it into Henshin Cyborg, and then shrunk it down into the Microman line, and then they sent Microman back to the States for Amigo to resell as or rebrand really as Micronauts. And it was after that that G.I. Joe looked at the 3 3/4 differently, and like, hey, well, let's make the 3 3/4 like Kenner Star Wars and everything else, but we can use the ability to have all that movement like our original Joe, but they used the basic principles that Takara was already using with the Microman as far as the joints, because they were the ones that started using all those socketed joints.
Right, yeah.
I mean, the only difference, they didn't have ball joints. They had like the I guess you would call it the pin joint. So they had the pin joint, and then they would have other like points of articulation with other like fold up joints and movable joints. Yeah. I mean, it was actually pretty amazing what they did back then. They did, however, have ball joints in the bottom of the feet for the Micromen. Like where their foot came up and attached at what should have been the ankle, they actually had a ball sitting there.
They did? Wow.
Yeah, the bottom of their feet was a ball joint.
See, that's pretty crazy. Like, I know when they started doing like the ball joints in the shoulders, those were like the first things when, you know, these other figures, especially the Japanese ones, because they're the ones who always innovated with articulation. Because I remember there were a couple of like the old Trigon figures. When we were working at McFarlane, we were dissecting those and a couple of other like imported figures, like bizarre shit I've never heard or seen before in the States. But like the figures were amazing. Like, and they had like the diaphragm cut, so you could get full movement and rotation. But they did it like on an angle instead of a ball joint at first, so you could either crunch him over in one position or lean him all the way back in one position. But it would be either, you know, like that crunch would be to the left, and then when you rotate him backwards, it'd be to the right. And then they eventually started putting an actual ball joint in there too, so you get full like hula hoop action. And then these other companies just start ripping it off, or, you know. And I'm like, well, if you're being innovative like that and you're figuring out how to do it, then yeah, I think more people should be doing that. And, you know, these figures should get better and better, especially articulation wise. You know, there are ones that I can't stand that Marvel Legends they do instead of the ball joint in the diaphragm. They just have like this hinge over from the abs. And they look like ugly robot joints. You know
I know exactly what you're talking about too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just got that one big hinge that folds down.
Yeah, it's so stupid. But, you know, they keep changing things and messing around. So
But it's actually hilarious when I was thinking back to that. I was like, yeah. They also, I forgot the Micromen. They also had a ball joint in the wrist. Because the way they did the hands was almost like a cuff. It almost looked like a cuff, kind of a little bit like a white cuff, you know, like a gauntlet. Yeah. And at the end of that gauntlet was actually a ball socket for the hand to sit in that gauntlet, and that would just slide over top of the forearm. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that was the hand was ball jointed, and the foot was ball jointed.
That's cool. Yeah, well, that's the way to do it. You want more articulation out of figures, because the more dynamic they are, the more playability people are going to get, or you put them in nice poses, you know, and it's nice to display. You get them in action movements and shit like that.
I mean, I think that's where G.I. Joe got the idea for the ball joint that they used for the head afterwards.
Oh, yeah, most likely.
Yeah, because I remember the very first ones that they released in '82, they didn't have like total ball joint movement in the head. Mm-hmm. And it was later on that they started using that ball joint, because I've taken them apart, and what I use is, instead of like any kind of rubber band, I actually go out and buy gaskets, like automotive or, you know, plumbing gaskets, and that's what I use to replace the bands in the G.I. Joes, and they last 10 times longer.
Oh, wow. Dude, that's great.
No, it's a lot of fun to work on those things sometimes. Sometimes not. You know, it all depends.
Yeah, like Shockwave.
That figure annoys the shit out of me.
That son of a bitch robot.
I love that figure too, but there's so many things. I mean, then you got the wires for the pack, because he's got lights and sound. Like, there's just so many things that go wrong when you're taking that thing apart.
I know, man. I know. I never got him in on the Siege line. Because I felt like I don't know, he looked too small for the price that he's supposed to be. I'm like, no.
Yeah, they were up in that price for the attachments. I have that one, and he is way too small.
Yeah. I mean, he looks nice, but yeah, he's too small. And if I was able to get him for cheap, maybe, but no.
Yeah, there you go, Godzilla in there. No, Hulk lost his leg at Nom. Nom nom.
I told you, it was the piggies. Nom nom nom.
You know, it's funny. I was doing that Starscream one, and Jumper turned around and started to try to nibble at the damn Starscream that was sitting in the box with him. I was like, "No, you can't nibble that."
That
starts
funny.
looking at me like, "Yeah, I can." Like, no. Yeah, Mega Supreme's tank. Yeah, actually, I've got an Mega Supreme, and I kind of partially took them apart. I mean, the problem is once you get down all the gear mechanisms that are in the inside, that's where it becomes a pain in the ass.
Yeah. That's nuts.
But another fun one, I think.
Hell yeah, man. It's always fun.
Yeah, I love this.
Oh, for sure, man. Yeah, and sometime next week, we should be over on World Class Bullshitters as well, talking toys. So that's gonna be good. That's gonna be great. I know a couple of those guys are big toy guys, so yeah, that'll be fun. I don't know what day yet. We're figuring it out.
No, man. I tell you what, they have a pig on there with them. I'll bring up some old school stuff. Maybe shock them with something I have old, like really old.
Oh, dude, that'd be great. That'd be excellent, man. Yeah, man.
I'll probably more than likely hear that was before I was born.
Most likely, right? Oh, shit. But yeah, man, it's fun. I love this kind of stuff. Just talking about shit that inspired us and we grew up with, and and what they're doing now to fix shit. I still want to get a couple more of those classified G.I. Joes. I cannot find any for the life of me in stores. It is ridiculous.
Tell me about it. It's the same thing with the Masters of the Universe Origins Retro line.
Yep.
Trying to find some of those newer figures has been impossible. Just sold out everywhere. And the Transformers have been the same way. Like, it's just the same grouping of figures constantly on the shelves. It's freaking Cup. It's Blur. It's that freaking Megatron, for the Kingdom line where he's the dinosaur.
Yeah, and Rhinox.
And Rhinox and stuff like that. It's just all the same figures over and over again. I'm not finding anything new or anything that I missed.
Well, did they release a new Waves yet?
I know Perceptor is hitting the toy shelves sometime this month. I did have a pre-order for mine, so mine is actually supposed to be delivered sometime before this month is over.
Oh, good.
I also pre-ordered the Megatron Hiss Tank.
That looks freaking good.
That is not set to release until next year.
Wow.
Yeah, sometime in January. So I was like, woof.
Damn. How much did that one go for?
God, how much was that one? I want to say it was like 70 or 80. Wow. I think.
Is it an exclusive as well, or?
I'm trying to remember. I want to say it was. Yes, it was originally. It was supposed to be. I think it was a GameStop exclusive initially. I think.
Okay. Yeah,
I thought.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because GameStop was doing that before they were doing it with the Funko Pops. Is they actually had Funko Pops in a tin can that was half Transformers, half G.I. Joe. So I forget if it was one or two Funko Pops in there, but you didn't know which one you were getting. You didn't know if you were getting G.I. Joe or Transformers. So they were kind of already building up to something like that to begin with.
Yeah, the grab bag thing.
It turned into a soap opera. Well, a lot of the stuff that they were doing before I heard is like it's disappearing. And I know I stopped on a couple of weeks ago and I was watching.
Liam was on a couple of weeks ago or something. And it was from what I understood, it was pretty good.
Yeah, we had fun. I had fun harassing some of the jackasses that tried to come over there and start their shit.
Yeah. Well, again, that's what those people are. So they're shit. The drama ones. No one needs that. No one likes that. Those random idiots trying to hurt people's campaigns and shit. Yeah.
Oh no. After tax and everything, it wound up being 90.
Okay. Oh yeah, shipping and all that shit too.
Well, shipping was actually free. It was like the extra sales tax and stuff like that. And
Okay. Was
yeah,
it
it
like a
wound
Big
up
Bad Toy Store or something?
Entertainment Earth.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I used
It,
to order them from them a long time ago.
yeah, they were the best price, and they were given the decent free shipping. Some of the other ones weren't. Like I think Big Bad Toy Store was just charging for
Yeah,
shipping.
yeah. Right. Which is weird. But
And they weren't delivering any sooner. So I mean, it was going to be the same delivery time. So I was like, screw that. Might as
yeah,
well
yeah.
pay less if I'm getting it
Oh,
next year.
of course, dude. Of course. You can get a deal.
But
Get a deal.
damn right. Damn right. I did that with the Perceptor one because I was looking online. And I know we've talked about this before with eBay and some of these other sites, man.
Yep.
Everybody's charging $60, $70 for that Perceptor.
Dude,
They were charging
bullshit.
$60, $70 as a pre-order on eBay and Amazon and stuff. And I was like, what? So I went on the one site. Matter of fact, I think it was a Big Bad Toy Store. And I wound up getting it for store price. It was right around 20. It was like 24.
Yeah. Wow. So, like I said, man, I know I always rather get it from the stores, but yeah, sometimes like these things are going to be impossible to get, or so we got to do what we got to do sometimes. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still trying to keep an eye out for. I want the G.I. Joe classified bat figures, the robots. Those look amazing. I just want one. I don't need the army build or nothing. I don't have room to do that. But I want one, and I want the classic version of Storm Shadow.
No, I keep my eyes out every time I'm out.
It's such a pain in the ass with those figures, though. Damn scalpers.
It's just like I've talked to a few people. Like, if you ever run across an Orko figure, I don't care.
Oh yeah, dude.
I will pay you double for it.
Yeah, man. I always got my eye out for that for you. I have not seen them. The only thing I've seen so far, Jinsu, that the Bumblebee looking guy that was a Buzz
Off.
And I'm starting to see what's her face too, the Sorceress.
Yeah, the only other one I usually see a lot is a Clamp Champ.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't seem like nobody wants him either. What's going on, Slasher? I know we're getting ready to start winding down soon. I know Drew will be going on. At least I'm assuming he's going on with Pegasus Actual at 9:30.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a quarter after, almost 20 after 9 already. Holy crap! This was a little bit longer than we usually run.
Yeah, it was fun, man. So it always is, man. Always a blast.
Always having a blast every single time. So go ahead, take the floor. I mean, you just crossed a milestone with Shadow of the Kraken.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we just hit over 19,000 now. So it'd be awesome to hit 20 before I got to start fulfillment. But the book should be done about mid-April to late April is what I'm looking at right now. I'm painting the last couple of pages, and then it's just going to be doing all the lettering for it. So yeah, and that should move quickly. The lettering part of it. It's the painting part. It's taking time because again, I'm putting so much detail into the project. And yeah, since we got the pirate guinea pig here, but this guy right here, he is the main character of the book, and I can't wait for you guys to see Shadow of the Kraken, to read this one. It's something I've been working on for a while now, and it's campaign number 6, and I think it's going to be the last one that I do like this, where I run the campaign and I'm still working on the book. I think I'm going to go back to my old method of finishing it totally and then launching the campaign. So, because I want to be able to, during that time, I want to be able to give you guys a lot more, because I know once we get to certain aspects of while we're working on these books, that like we can't really do extra add-ons and shit because the time framing is all screwed up, and if people got in early, they might miss out on shit that's coming up later. So I rather just do it all for the same people in one shot like that, if that makes sense. So, but yeah, no, this
Thank
is
you,
amazing.
Gaze.
Thank you, Red Gaze. Dude, hell yeah, brother. And yeah, make sure to back Sunsworn as well. Wings of Vengeance, beautiful book. Sign up for Bonds too. Make sure to help out Chris Fisk with his project because that thing ships immediately as well. The Infinitale Chronicles. And yeah, man, we get great people, great creators. Liam Gray with Wonder Island. Plenty of awesome people. And yeah, don't believe any bullshit narratives either. Again, as somebody steals an IP, yeah, it's up to the creator to defend their project, plain and simple. So
He
and that's
should
all
be,
it
he
comes
should
down
be
to.
able to. I mean, because that's the same thing that we're always doing when we're talking about defending these franchises that we love so much.
Of course, dude. Of course. You know, you can have some scumbags just walk in there and think that they could do that. Yeah, go ahead. Put Batman on your cover and let me know how that works out with DC and Warner Brothers. Douchebags.
I'm waiting for him to go after that Netflix series because that was just that was such plagiarism. Like I laughed because it was just so stupidly funny, but it was bad at the same time. But holy crap, I can't believe they got away with it. Guardians of
yeah. Okay, yeah.
God, what the, yeah, it was so bad, so bad.
Oh, it looked terrible from what I saw. But yeah,
thanks, Gaze. I appreciate you putting all that up. I know a lot of times I get it all in the description. Sometimes I don't. I'll go back to what JJ used to say. It was a lottery. Godzilla wants to know, is there a pirate guinea pig in the shadow to crack it? No, not yet. Not yet.
No,
there might be in the future. I don't know. We're working at the details. The Guinea Pig Collective is trying to harass Vinnie into getting some on there.
I had Frog G in the last show. He was asking if there were any frogs in the book. I said, I know I got a couple. I got a crab in there. I got a parrot. I got a great white shark. It's eating a guy. I got some wildlife and things, but no guinea pigs yet, and no frogs yet. But it's a book that's it's 52 pages, front cover to back cover, and yeah, you guys are gonna get just the best of the best as always from me. Yeah, we just keep raising the bar while everyone else keeps having their Twitter fights and their drama bullshit, and we're actually getting work done. So yeah, get ready. Campaign number 6 will be fulfilling. This summer it looks like. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, they don't call him the fulfillment king for nothing, people. Pay attention. While some people are still struggling to get out their first project, Vinny's on number 6.
Yep. And 7's I'm gonna start 7 as soon as I am done with fulfillment on Shadow of the Kraken. So, and that's gonna be City of Venus 2, the long-awaited sequel to the first one, and that one's gonna be over 50 pages as well.
Awesome. And guys, don't forget, you are doing your Friday stream tomorrow?
Oh yes, yeah, that's right. Yeah, and we're gonna be talking some DC and some Batman stuff because there's some more information that dropped and things that have been going on at DC, which is pretty interesting, including movies that got pulled off the list for 2022, and they're going to be 2023 and 2024 instead, and the reasons behind it. I heard a little bit of inside stuff, so we'll talk about that. We'll have some more great people on. Brett, I don't know if he's going to be available because I know he does every other Fridays. So I forgot this week whether or not he's on, but I will be sending him a link regardless. So Chris Fisk, Tommy, you could also find them over there. I think we're going to have Raven back on as well tomorrow. I'm going to double check with her tonight, but yeah, so it's going to be good stuff. Great people and excellent conversations as always.
Every single time. And of course, back on Vinny's channel on Sunday, he's got the Sunday Chill stream. That's usually the one that runs a little bit longer because he usually only runs roughly about an hour on Friday. Stamina, people. Stamina. You got to save it up for the big one.
Of course. Of course, brother. Yeah. Again, the Friday ones are on at 5 p.m. That way we give a chance for some of our European friends to pop in as well. We got Katie, we got Marinus. We like to have them on, and yeah, it's a reasonable hour for them both. So, yeah, good stuff. Oh, he's got game night tomorrow. All right, no Red tomorrow, but maybe the following week.
we need the Gaze agenda.
But yeah, man, it's always awesome. Like I said, great people, good friends. That's how we roll.
Absolutely. And I'd like to thank all the incredible people that have stopped by in the chat tonight. Of course, Red Gaze, I'm Not Creative 22, Jason Lee Tucker, Curtis YZ, Godzillionaire, Slasher McSplitter, my buddy Slasher, what's going on? Wookiee Supremacy, the Shellback TJC, Lasso of Truth, Frankie Knows, Super Fan, Adam Shaw Hand. I know the lovely Sherry was in the house. Memes of Destruction had also come through. I forget who else had came through at that point because Marby Dog had been through, Nano Reaper, Keck 44. Thank you, everybody that came by. You guys are amazing. Best chat on YouTube. You make this show fun every single week. I love watching your comments in the chat because sometimes they are absolutely hysterical, and I might just stop and start chuckling to myself because it's so funny. I mean, you guys make the show absolutely a blast, and it wouldn't be a show without you.
That's right.
So thank you. Every single time, thank you. Remember, never let anybody tell you what you can and can't say and what you should or should not watch because your silence gives consent. And don't forget to stop by Saturday as well following Vinnie's Friday stream and go by and see the boys at United Underground over on Scotty's channel as they do the dump. And we will catch y'all next time. Later, y'all.
Peace.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, hi, Coast Casino.
Hey, welcome to Sporking News Podcast. My name is Scott.
I'm Temple Queen of the Place to Be Reviews.
I am the Patriot, Drew Taylor, aka Supreme Heretic.
The Red Gaze on YouTube, at the Red Gaze on Twitter.
What up, what up, what up?
Hello, everybody. It's me, Vinnie.
The voice of Immortal Coil.
Oh, hey, I am the Ghost Bear.
What's going on, Tommy? You didn't get anybody to like this?
Yeah, I'm Wes Moody of the Wes Moody Webcast.
Tone, death, rockin'.
I mean, we have a lot of cool things over there. I did some magic tricks.
Hi, guys. Try to stay here.
My name is Monkey Knight.